Andrea here today, and we've got a classic Hatha yoga class focusing on balance. I know we all love balance. But we're going to work our way. We're going to start with a little bit of meditation. Then we have alternate nostril breathing as our pranayama today. And then we're going to warm up all of our joints with nice circular movements and work our way through 6 rounds of sun salutations. Can we do that?
Yes.
Oh, good. 6 rounds of sun salutations, and then we are going to work our way through standing asanas, seated asanas, on our tummies and on our backs until we reach shavasana. Good. Okay, so find yourself a bolster to sit on. Make yourself really comfortable. We're going to stay seated for quite some time, so make sure that you've got everything to actually be comfortable on your mat. It's not about inflicting the most pain on your body, but especially as we're going to focus on our breathing and during meditation, we always want to be comfortable. It's really not about enduring the most pain in our feet or in our knees and our hips. So when you've got your bolster or a pillow, whatever you can find at home, get it to sit on and then come into your favorite meditation position. I'm sitting in Shukrasana, an easy pose. Andrea is sitting cross-legged, but you can also come into a hero pose, having the bolster lengthwise between your legs, whatever feels good, just get into that position. And then gently let your eyes close, feel where your hands want to go, and make all adjustments necessary. Usually when we close our eyes, we become more aware of what is happening in our bodies. So when you feel now that the position you're in isn't quite just right, just wriggle a little bit and make everything so you're really comfortable. Maybe get a pillow for underneath your knees. And then gently draw your attention inwards. Feeling into your body and becoming aware of how your body feels like right now. Bring your attention to the tips of your toes and to the soles of your feet. Feel how they feel today. Feel into your ankles, into your calves and shins. Feel into your knees, into your thighs, and into your hips. Feel into your lower back and your middle back, into your abdomen, into your upper back and your shoulders. And then deeply inhale, let your shoulders rise a little bit, hold your breath at the end of the inhale. And on the exhale, let your shoulders relax again. Inhale again, let your shoulders rise, hold your breath, this time for a little bit longer. And then fully exhale, letting your shoulders relax once more. Take a third breath like this. Inhaling, holding your breath, letting everything you don't need in our practice today for the next hour accumulate in your chest. And on the exhale, fully exhale all that isn't accumulated. Let your shoulders relax. Feel how your chest feels, how your arms feel, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Come back to the base of your neck. Feel how your head feels, your forehead, your eyebrows and eyelids. Feel how your cheeks feel, your jaw and your chin. Feeling how your whole body feels on the mat today. And then bring your awareness to focus on your breathing. What does your breath feel like today? Are you breathing fast, slow? Are you breathing deeply or softly? Does your breath reach all parts of your lungs? Where can you feel movement through your breath? And where is it easiest to feel your breath? Is it in your nose, in your throat, your chest, your tummy? without changing anything. Simply practicing Shakshapivi, the art of observation. Observing, watching, without changing. Does your breath feel hot or cold? Does the temperature change from inhale to exhale? And is maybe one side of your nose more active than the other one? Becoming aware of all the different aspects in our breath. And then draw your attention deeper inwards from your breath into your mind. And feel how you feel today. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you awake? Are you feeling tired? Excited or bored? Again, just observing in the same way you looked at your breath, you looked at how your body feels. Take a moment to feel into how you feel. Again, without changing, accepting all feelings that are there right now. And then draw your attention even deeper inwards, into your heart center, and take a moment to find your dedication for today, for our practice. Maybe you've got a wish, or something or someone you want to send the energy we generate in our class in today. And take a moment to fully focus on your dedication. Let it become precise and in focus, adding as much detail as you can to your dedication. Stay with it for a few more breaths, letting it run through you, materialize in front of your inner eye and within your heart center. And then gently fold your hands in front of your heart center, bringing them into Anjali Mudra, and then open up your index fingers, middle fingers, and ring fingers, making a small vessel with your hands. And let your dedication from your heart center run into your open palms. If you want to, you can raise your thumbs to your third eye or up above your head. And with a smile, hand your dedication over to the universe. So while we are starting to practice, to work on our mat, the universe can work on your dedication. And then gently close your fingers again. Bring your hands back into your heart center if you've raised them. And let's open our practice with a chant of Om. So inhale deeply, exhale fully, and then inhale for Om. Another deep inhale and exhale, and then open your hands again, open your eyes again, and we're going to start with our breathing practice, our pranayama. Our topic today is balance, so we're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. We're going to inhale through one side of our nose, exhale through the other, and then inhale through the same side again, which is a technique used to bring the energy lines, the nadis in our body into balance, so it prepares us nicely for having a good balance on our mat afterwards. You take your right hand, and you can either use the ring finger or the pinky finger, folding the other two fingers or three fingers in, or placing them onto your third eye. I always fold mine in, I think. Do you put them on your third eye? No. Good. So we both fold them in. But whatever feels better for you. Some people like a little bit of pressure on the third eye, so you can also place your middle finger, index finger, and your ring finger on your third eye. We're going to start inhaling through the left side of our nose on the count of 4. exhaling on the right side on the count of 6, inhaling on the count of 4 again. So I'm going to walk you through the first couple of rounds until you've got the rhythm. And then I'm going to let you breathe by yourself on your own count, because sometimes when you follow someone else's breathing instructions, the breathing is, or the counting is too fast or too slow. If you want to take deeper breath, then you can just count on your own. So we're going to take our right hand, feel where your left hand wants to go, if it wants to rest on your thigh or in your lap, wherever it feels right. And then close your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close your left nostril with your pinky or your ring finger. Exhale through the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, same side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close right, open left. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open right, close left. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close, open left. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, same side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change sides. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change sides. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now inhale, continuing to count at your own speed. Always inhaling through the same side the exhale came from, and always having the exhale 1.5 times the length of the inhale. Continue for another round at your own speed and finishing on an exhale through the right side of your nose. When you're finished, just let your hand drop to your thigh in your lap and take a moment to come back to the art of observation, feeling how your breath feels now, if it feels any different to how it felt before during meditation, if it's deeper, faster, slower, softer, and if there may be the point in your body, the spot in your body, you can feel it most evidently has changed. And then in our next round, we're going to add breath retention to our practice. So again, we're going to start inhaling through our left side on the count of 4. We're going to hold our breath in our third eye on the count of 8. And exhale again on the count of 6. Again, we're going to walk you through 4 rounds, and then you can continue on your own at your own speed. So take your right hand again, close your right nostril with your thumb, and we start inhaling through the left. Exhale and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close both sides. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, open right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And continue at your own count. Inhaling on 4, holding on 8, exhaling on 6. Or you can use your own numbers, always having the holding twice as long as the inhale, the exhale 1.5 times the length of the inhale. Try to keep your breath even so you don't struggle for the last number on the exhale or on the inhale. And pranayama should always come easily, so never when you have to strain, make your breathing shorter, faster. It's like all yoga practices, you should always be at the outside edge of your comfort zone, but never really pierce it, never go out of your comfort zone. Just gently start extending it, holding your breath for longer, breathing in and out for longer. Working with your breath instead of fighting it. Continue for another round, finishing with an exhale on the right side, sorry. After finishing your last round, let your hands drop onto your thighs or into your lap again. And again, come to observing how your breath feels. Becoming aware of all changes, of all similarities in your breath compared to the previous round and compared to how your breath felt like in our meditation. Take another deep inhale, gently open your eyes again. And we're going to start with our warm-up. So lengthen your legs. You've been sitting here for quite a while. It might feel like you feel like in a yin yoga class where everything falls asleep. So just start gently lengthening your feet. Spread your toes. Move the big ones up, the little ones down, and vice versa. Waking up your toes, waking up your feet. And then start circling your ankles. Gently reaching them out. We're going to do a classic Iyengar style warm-up for all joints. And then we start with our sun salutations. Change direction, you circle your ankles the other way. Your feet have gained consciousness again. Good. And shake out your feet. And then take your right leg and we're going to point our toes, keep the hips stable and keep the ankles stable. And just going to start circling our knee. First into one direction and then change direction, circling it the other way. Good. Trying to keep the thigh as stable as possible so you don't start rotating at your knee yet. Going to focus on the knee for a moment. Okay. On the next inhale then, Hug your right thigh in towards your chest. Maybe you're touching your shoulder. Exhaling, lengthening your leg. Inhaling, bringing your knee in. Exhaling, lengthening. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale, good. Inhale and exhaling. One more. Inhale, exhale, and put your right foot down. Change sides, and then start circling your left knee. Trying to keep your thigh as stable as you can. Pointing your toes. And then change direction. You rotate the other way. Good. And then again, hug your knee in. Try to close the gap between your chest and your thigh. Inhaling, bringing the knee in. Exhaling, pointing your toes, lengthening the leg. And one more. And then bring your heels down, shake your legs out. We're going to come off our bolsters. Put them to the side. And lengthen your right leg. We're going to make big circles with our leg. I know everybody's favorite. You can make it easier by coming onto your elbows. You can make it harder by sitting up really tall with a straight back. So find your variation and then bring your leg across the midline. Reaching it up, and we're going to go really slow for big circles. Nice, good. Perfect. Lengthen, reach up through your chest, and the last one, when you're down again, don't drop your heel to the floor, but change direction, and another 4 the other way. Come across the midline, make your circle as big as possible. 2, go as slow as possible. 3. You can inhale when you bring your leg up. Exhale when you bring your heel down. Good. And the other side. Inhaling, bringing your leg up. Big circles. Exhaling, bringing it down. Inhaling and exhaling. Trying to make your circles as big as you can. And when you bring your heel down here, change direction. Your leg comes up, exhaling. When it comes down. Good. And one more. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Shake out your legs. Good. And then bring your heels in. Gently shake out the insides of your thighs. Good. Sitting up tall, lengthening through your spine. Pulling your shoulders down. And then hold on or open the soles of your feet. You give them a little massage here. Just dig your fingers in. And then from here, slowly lean forward, folding forward and around back. Lengthening the crown of your head to the floor. Nice rounded back. Putting your elbows in. And inhale. Sit back up. Reach back up through your chest. Coming into a straight back, a gentle arch in your lower back. Good. And then on the exhale, relax everything again. Cross your legs over. Come to sit cross-legged. Bring your hands onto your knees. And we're going to do Sufi circles. Inhaling, leaning forward. Exhaling, rounding your back, pulling your chin onto your chest. Inhaling, arching your back. Exhaling, rounding your back. Try to, like we did with our legs, try to go as slow as you can, really feeling into where you can bring movement into your spine. So you want to round your back when you lean back, arch your back as you come forward. Try to feel each circle going a little bit deeper, feeling into your sitting bones, moving towards the tailbone, the other sitting bone towards the pubic bone. Don't forget about your chin. When you round your back, you bring it onto your chest. And when you arch your back, when you lean forward, you bring your chin up. Good. Feel into those parts of your spine where it's hard to feel movement. And then maybe stay a little bit. Usually we've got that bit here in our middle back where it is really hard to move. So maybe stay here a little bit and see if you can lean a bit further forward. And at the same point, when you round your back, see if you can tilt your pelvis a little bit more. If you can pull your chin a little bit further down, roll your shoulders in a little bit more. Trying to, on each round, increase mobility in your spine. On the next exhale, round your back, and then change direction. Inhale, leaning forward again. Exhaling, rounding your back. Good. Now here on the other side, see if you can feel into the side of your rib cage, feeling how your vertebrae, how your ribs, your intercostal muscles are lengthening, pulling your ribs away from each other, and on the opposite side, how they are coming closer together. Bringing movement into your side body. Good. Don't forget to round your back, chin onto your chest, arch your back. Again, here trying to make your range of movement bigger and bigger. Working with the mobility in your body, working with the muscle strength to support your bone structure, skeletal structure. A few more rounds here, linking your breath to your movement. When you inhale, you move forward, and the end of the inhale is when your back is arched. The end of the exhale is when your chin is on your chest, your pelvis is tilted, back is rounded. Good. On the next exhale, when your spine is rounded, your chin is on your chest, keep holding onto your knees, pull your belly button back, bring your whole spine into a complete C shape. Good. Rotating your elbows inwards, your elbow pits downwards. Good. Putting your chin onto your chest. And then inhale, lift up again. Putting your elbows back, keep holding onto your knees. Pulling them back, arching your back again, lengthening through the top of your head. Gently pull your chin up. Good. Press your solar plexus forward, your sternum forward. Bring your shoulder blades together behind your back. And then open your hands, interlock them behind your back. Pull your hands down, not up, but rather down. So you pull your shoulders away from your earlobes. Still lengthening through the top of your head. Maybe point your fingers down to give yourself a little bit more direction here. And another 2 breaths here. Good. On the inhale, come back up. Lengthen your arms, let your hands slide onto your knees, and rotate your shoulders. Gently pull your shoulders up and back. And here, like we did with our spine, try to make each round a little bit bigger than the previous one. Pulling your shoulders back, let your shoulder blades meet. Bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Good. Rotating your shoulders backwards. Try to keep the movement in your shoulders. Don't use your ribs to help you. Keep your front ribs, your floating ribs down. Sometimes it feels as if you had pebbles stuck between your shoulder blades. That's okay, I'm going to move them out of the way now. And then change direction here, rotating your shoulders forward. Pulling forward, shoulder blades away from each other. Protraction in your shoulders. You can let your hands circle around your knees, especially if your knees often hurt. They love a little bit of attention and love. Good. And then gently start cycling your shoulders, moving one up at a time. Getting the last little pebbles here out of the way, so we're ready for moving. And change direction here as well, cycle them the other way. And then let your shoulders relax again. Lengthen through the top of your head. Imagine someone is pulling a string that is attached to the crown of your head upwards. So you lengthen through your spine. Think about the bandhas. Lifting your pelvic floor, hugging your belly button inwards, and your Jaladhara bandha, your chin gently being pulled backwards, top of your head upwards. So when you're here, Pull your chin down, lengthen through your neck. Your chin doesn't have to touch your chest, but you still want to have that length in your upper back, in your neck. And then slowly start looking over to your right shoulder. And then look up without creasing your neck. So you don't want to drop your head back like this, but you still want to have the length in your spine. Looking up, lifting your chin, looking up at the ceiling, moving over to your left shoulder all the time, keeping your neck long and extended back into the middle, moving very slowly, very carefully here. If that makes you feel queasy, you can do half circles, only moving from the middle to one shoulder and back to the other shoulder. It's all about the length in the neck. If you feel that you're dropping your head back too far, you can take your hand, place it at the back of your neck, in the nape of your neck, and then looking up, extending through your spine, keeping your front ribs in. And then change direction. When your chin is down the next time, gently rotating your head a little bit more. Again, here try to extend your range of motion. Good. Very slow, very conscious, very mindful. Big circles. If there's any crunching in your neck, go even slower. Don't throw your head around, it's not made for that. And then pull your chin back into the middle of your chest. Sit up tall again, maybe hold on again to your knees. So you really sit up tall, pull your front ribs in. And exhale, let everything go. Bring your hands in front of you on the mat. And take the outside edges of your feet into the mat. Pull your knees a little bit up and together, engage your bandhas, lift your hips up, and if you can, just step back, untangle your legs here into a nice downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet for a moment, rolling through your soles. Good. Waking up your legs again after sitting for so long. And slowly then walk your toes to the front of the mat. Coming into a gentle forward bend, stay here for a moment, maybe just holding on to your elbows, letting your head drop down. Maybe making little infinity figures here with your arms. Relax yourself in this forward bend. Another 2 deep breaths here. And then let your hands open and slowly roll up your spine. Take about 3-4 breath time. Start with pulling your sitting bones down, your tailbone down, almost like coming up like a zombie. Then let your sacrum rise, moving through your spine vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping your head heavy, keeping your arms heavy, pulling your front ribs in, pulling your sternum in, slowly, slowly. All mindfully, consciously moving without throwing yourself around. Good. Come to the front of your mat. Align the outsides of your feet with the outsides of the mat. And then gently rotate your kneecaps forward, keeping your glutes relaxed, keeping the arch in your lower back intact. So you don't want to push your hips forward when you let your knees come forward again. But try to keep your knees above your ankles, your hips above your knees, making one strong line from your earlobes to your shoulders, all the way down to your heels. Hugging your pelvic floor upwards and inwards, activating Mula Bandha. Hugging your belly button as if you're closing a zipper from your pubic bone all the way to the base of your ribs upwards, engaging with Yana Bandha, your stomach lock. Fold your hands in front of your heart center and think about Jaladhara Bandha, someone pulling your ponytail backwards and upwards to keep that long plumb line from your ears down. Press your palms together, imagine they're glued together with super glue, and try to pull them away so your shoulders start working. And we've got our Tadasana, our mountain pose. You want to be as strong as a mountain here. We're going to work our way through 6 rounds of sun salutations, starting a little bit slower, and then we add speed. Yeah? Yes. Good. Gently inhale, reach your arms up, come into a nice back bend, placing your weight into the front of your feet. Maybe look up at the ceiling if that's fine for your neck. Think about the extension again. Don't let your head drop back, but lengthen back. Pull your shoulders down, and on the exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees, you can keep your knees straight, both are fine. Bring your hands to the floor, maybe onto your shins, wherever you can reach, and look at your knees. Inhale, look up, step your right foot back into a lunge. Bringing your hands onto the mat, your fingertips, whatever feels good. Pressing your right heel back, your right knee wants to be all the way straight. And maybe let your hips drop a little bit further towards your left ankle. Keep looking up. We don't want to. We always tend to look at our toes, but it's sun salutations, and the sun is usually higher up, and we're not saluting our toes. Lifting your chest, and you want to have this extension from the top of your head to your right heel. Good. Stay, and then when the next natural exhale comes, firm your pelvic floor, lift your hips up, step your right foot back into plank. From plank, you press your hands into the mat, you press your shoulder blades away from each other, and your gaze is between your thumbs. On the next exhale, you bring your knees onto the mat, and you bend your elbows backwards, letting your chest and chin come onto the mat. If that feels terribly difficult, we're going to come back, come onto all fours for a moment. I'm going to come to the side. What happens most of the time, if this doesn't work, is that we bring our hips behind our knees, and then it's virtually impossible to bring your chest. You want to give it a try? To bring your chest onto the mat. It just doesn't, you can't come down like this. You have to bring your elbows out to the side, and in yoga elbows always stay close to our ribs. So to do that in a more easy way, or in a more mechanically possible way, you have to, when you come from plank, bring your knees onto the mat, drop your hips forward, and now bend your elbows backwards, lifting your tailbone up, engaging your bandhas to give you the support to come down with control, and bring your chest and chin onto the mat. So that is much easier than backing your hips up too far. On the inhale, lengthen your toes, drop your hips onto the mat, swivel forward into a cobra, keeping your elbows close to your ribs, keeping your elbows bent, lengthening through the top of your head. Good. On the exhale, tuck your toes under, and then lift your hips up. You can keep your knees on the mat or lift up in one line. Step your feet in a little bit into your downward facing dog. Lift up through your sitting bones, a nice stretch here. Your heels can be off the mat, your knees can be bent, and you want to focus on the length in your lower back. So it's this part here that wants to be all the way straight without rounding in here. Good. Stay for another breath. And then on the inhale, step your left foot forward. You can reach it up, hug it in. Bring your shoulders forward in front of your, on top of your wrists. Step your foot forward and look up again. And we've got the same stretch as in the beginning in our right leg. Your right heel reaches back. Your left heel is firmly grounded. Your toes are spread on both feet. And you want to feel the stretch in the back of your left thigh and in the front of your right thigh. Looking up, lifting up through your sternum. That's it. Good. And then on the exhale, press your left foot down and just let your right foot slide in. Coming into forward bend again, looking at your knees. Top of your head is reaching down, so you don't look at your toes because then you get that crease in the back of your neck again. So you want to lengthen through that, pulling the top of your head down, keeping the gaze at knee level. On the inhale, come up with a firm back and a firm core. So you don't roll your spine up like we did before, but you want to let your sitting bones point back. Reach your arms out to the side, lead with the back of your head. Good. Lifting up into a heart opening back bend. And on the exhale, bringing your hands back into heart center. Good. We're going to do it a little bit faster on the other side, yeah? So inhale, exhale, ground yourself. Inhale, reach your arms up, come into a back bend, opening your heart. On the exhale, we're folding forward, long straight spine, diving down, looking at your knees. Top of the head is reaching down, knees can be bent or straight, both are fine. Inhaling, looking up, stepping your left foot back into a lunge, lifting your heart center, pressing your left heel back, feeling the stretch in the back of your right leg, in the front of your left leg. On the next exhale, step your right foot back, firm your pelvic floor into plank, and from plank, bend your knees, bend your elbows backwards, chest and chin onto the mat. Good. Now here, Lengthen your feet, drop your hips to the mat, rolling up into Cobra, keeping your elbows always close to your sides, never out like this, but always try to hug them in and lengthen through the top of your head. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, push back into downward facing dog, fingers are spread, toes are spread, outsides of your feet in line with the outside of the mat, and your gaze goes between your thighs. Inhale. Lift your right leg up, hug your right thigh in towards your chest, move forward, shoulders above your wrists, so you've got space to step your foot forward. If it doesn't go forward all the way, you can wriggle it forward, it's all okay. Lengthening, lifting your sternum, long spine, stepping your right foot down. On the exhale, your left foot moves into forward bend, nose to your knees. Inhale, reaching your arms out to the sides, lengthening up. Coming back into your back bend, looking up if it's good for your neck, you don't have to. Exhaling into Tadasana. That was round one. Now we do the fast round. Inhaling, reaching up, arching your back. Exhaling, folding forward, look at your knees. Inhale, look up from your pelvic floor, step back into a lunge here, lifting your heart center. Exhaling, shoulder blades wide away from each other, slide your left foot back into plank. From plank, hold your breath, knees to the floor, bending your elbows backwards, chest and chin to the floor, lengthening your feet, dropping your hips, inhaling into Cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot goes up, hugs in, steps forward into Ajnasana. Exhale, right foot moves into forward bend. Inhaling, long straight spine coming up, reaching up, exhaling, hands in front of your heart. Inhaling, arching your back into back bend, exhaling into your forward bend. Inhaling, stepping your left foot back into lunge, and exhaling into plank. From plank, hold your breath, knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling into downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling, reaching your right leg up, hugging it in, stepping it forward. Open your chest, exhaling into Uttanasana. Inhaling, long straight spine, reverse diving up. Exhaling, hands in front of your heart. Inhaling and exhaling into Uttanasana. Inhaling, look up, step your right foot back into Ajnasana. And exhaling into Dandasana. Hold your breath. Knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling into Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhaling into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, left foot goes up, steps forward. Lifting up through your chest, back into Ajnasana. Exhale into Uttanasana. And inhale into Ashtha Chandrasana, making a big half moon. Exhale into Tadasana. Close your eyes. Inhale, look up at the meeting point of your palms. Exhale, fold forward, look at your knees. Inhale, lift your head, step your left foot back into Ajnasana. Look at eye level a little bit higher up. Exhale, into plank, looking between your thumbs. Hold your breath, knees, chest and chin to the mat. Look at the tip of your nose. Inhaling, looking at your third eye or at the ceiling. Exhaling back into downward facing dog, look between your thighs. Inhaling, lifting your right leg, hugging it in, stepping it forward, looking up at eye level again. And exhale into Uttanasana, looking at your knees. Inhale, reaching up, look at the meeting point of your palms again, and exhale, close your eyes. Inhaling, reaching up, good. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, stepping your right foot back. And exhaling, it's okay. Stepping your left foot back into plank. From plank, hold your breath as you come into knees, chest and chin. And inhale back into Cobra. Good. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward. And exhale, step your right foot in. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart, close your eyes. Inhaling, reaching up again, look up. Exhaling into your forward bend. Inhale, left foot steps back into a low high lunge. Exhaling into plank. From plank, knees, chest and chin to the mat. And inhaling into cobra, into your back bend. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot lifts up. Step your right foot forward. Good. And exhale, step your left foot in. Look at your knees. Inhale, long, strong spine as you come up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. 2 more to go. Inhaling. And exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, step your right foot back. Lift your chest. Exhale into plank, from plank. Knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling into cobra. Keep your ears away, or your shoulders away from your ears. And move back into down dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Look up. And exhale, step your right foot in. Good. Hands in front of your heart. Inhaling, reach up again. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, stepping your left foot back into lunge. And then exhaling, right foot into plank. From plank, come into knees, chest and chin. Inhaling into cobra, elbows close. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhaling, lifting your right foot up, stepping it forward. And exhaling, stepping your left foot in. Look at your knees. Inhaling, coming up with your core strength. And exhaling, hands in front of your heart. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, step your right foot back. And exhaling, stepping your left foot back into plank. From plank, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling into cobra. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhaling, stepping your left foot forward. And exhaling, right foot moves in. Inhaling, long strong spine coming up. Exhaling, hands in front of your heart. Inhaling, reaching up again. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, left foot goes back. Open your chest. Exhaling, right foot goes back. Shoulders strong. Knees, chest and chin to the mat. Elbows close to your ribs. Inhaling, cobra. Elbows bent. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, last time. Right foot moves up. Step it forward. Bring your left foot in. Look at your knees. Inhaling, long, strong spine, reaching up. Exhaling, hands in front of your heart. Good. Everybody warm?
Yes.
Kind of, huh? Good. So our topic today is balance. So we're going to start with a few balancing asanas, standing up in the classic Rishikesh style, where you start standing up, then we're going to sit down and lie down and come to the closing postures. So when you work with balancing, you always want to really ground through your standing leg, and then think about lifting energy up all the way into either your hands or to the top of your head. So you're going to start with our left foot on the mat. So spread your toes, ground yourself through the 4 corners of your feet. So the base of your big toe, the base of your little toe, and the 2 sides of your heel. And then lift the arch, almost like shortening the distance or shortening the length of your feet. You really want to lift the arch up, engaging your pada bandhas. Lift your kneecap, engage your thighs, engage your glutes. And we're going to start with coming into tree pose. So there's a difference between flexibility and mobility. If you want to work with mobility, you turn your right knee out and you see how high you can lift the leg without the help of your hands, and see where your foot goes. It doesn't have to go very far. So this is mobility. It's the muscle strength that brings you into a certain shape. Flexibility is when you then grab your ankle and you bring the foot into the position you want it to be in. Flexibility is fine, but mobility is much more important. So yoga is not all about flexibility. It's actually about having the strength in your muscles to support your asanas. So don't come into it passively but actively. We're going to work on that. So think about lifting the arch of your foot, lifting your kneecap again, pushing your left hip inwards, pressing your right foot onto your standing leg. So you create a strong bind between the bent leg and the standing leg. Now you can choose a spot to look at. If you want to make it easy, you find something on the floor in front of you, something that's not moving, so not the cat that's running through. And then if you want to make it harder, find a spot to concentrate on at eye level, or you can look up at the ceiling. And if you really, really, really want to make it hard, you can see if you can close your eyes here. And then you can use your hands, press your palms together, like we did in the beginning of our sun salutations. Imagine that they're glued together and you want to pull them apart. You can bring your hands above your head. Try to always keep your elbows straight, or you can open your hands. And you want to have this feeling of lifting up through your foot, through your pelvic floor, through your belly button, through the top of your head, all the way to your fingertips. Lifting energy from the ground into the top of your head or your fingertips. Stay for another 2 breaths here. Inhaling deeply, using your Ujjayi breathing. Every inhale as long as the exhale. And then gently come back down. Try to not wobble when you come down, but come down with control. Let's try the other side. Again, grounding through the 4 corners of your feet, and then lifting the arch, shortening the distance between those 4 corners. Lift your kneecap, engage your thigh, don't make your hip come out to the right side, but hug it in already. And then lift your knee, turning it out, and see how high up you can bring it, and where you can place your foot without the help of your hand. If that feels somehow uncomfortable and you want to help a little bit, feel free to do so. But I would always start working with mobility and then add that little pinch of flexibility into it. Rotate your left knee out a little bit more, creating a strong bind between the thigh and the foot. Find a place where to rest your gaze on, or close your eyes if you feel like it, and then feel where your arms want to go. Try to let your shoulder blades settle down your back, hugging your shoulders down as your fingers lengthen upwards. If you reach your arms up above your head, creating a strong bind here. The more you use your bandhas, the better your balance is actually. Stay for another 5 breaths. Nice thing about Hatha is that you always have lots of time to experience and practice and modify. Lifting energy from your standing leg, through the arch of your foot, your kneecap, your pelvic floor, your belly button, all along the nadis, into your fingertips, the top of your head. So you try to lift off the mat, lifting that energy up. You want to have the inside of your knee at some point in one line with your hip bones here, into the same plane. And then another deep inhale, another deep exhale. Inhale again, and then gently come back out. With control, don't flop out, but try to keep your bandhas, your internal engagement intact as you come out of the position. Good. Let's come into Garudasana, into an eagle pose. So here we start with our left foot again, and again you ground yourself, and then you hug those 4 corners of your feet in together, and you lift the arch of your feet. Now bend your knee, and then you take your right foot and you wrap it around your left leg. You can rest your toes here on the outside of your left leg. If you've got a block, you can put them on a block. It's Andrea's favorite asana, so she doesn't need a block here. You can also wrap your foot around your left thigh, your left shin, or around your left calf. Bend your knee, and what you want to do is, you don't want to round your back and let it come down straight, but you want to untuck your pelvis, lifting your sitting bones up and out, lifting your tailbone up. When you've found your balance, you start pressing the insides of your thighs together. That's the most important thing here, that you've got that internal pressure on the insides of your thighs. And then you've got your right leg on top, so you take your right arm, and you wrap your left arm underneath and around. And if your palms touch, you can let them touch. And now on the next exhale, you bend a little bit deeper into your knees, lift your sitting bones and your tailbone and your elbows at the same time. Balancing here, hugging your belly button upwards, working with all your bandhas. Pulling your shoulder blades away from each other so you can bring your elbows all the way up to eye level. Lifting up, lengthening, and you want to have that coming out of length from your sternum to your pubic bone, lifting up through your tailbone. So lots of length in your spine. Exhale, then come back out and change sides. Good. Take your right foot as your standing leg. Shorten the distance again, lifting the kneecap, engaging your thighs, bending your knee, and then wrap your left leg around, hooking under, or let your toes rest here. The most important thing is really that you engage the inner thighs, pull your pelvic floor upwards and inwards, belly button upwards, lengthening through your spine. Then you can bend your knees a little bit more, untuck here, and then take your left arm, wrap your right arm underneath and around, and lengthen through the top of your head. You can lift your elbows as high as you want, lengthening here, lifting your heart center. Good. Don't want to, it's always toughest class to adjust because whenever you come around and you touch someone, they fall out of it immediately or easily, not immediately. But you really want to pull those shoulder blades away here, bending into your knees, untucking your pelvis a little bit more, so tilt forward here. Yes, that's it. Good. Another 2 breaths. Good. Inhale and exhale. Every inhale the same length as the exhale. And then on the next exhale, gently come back out. Check out everything for a moment. Let go of all bandhas. Good. So the next one is a warrior 3. So here we start with grounding through both of our feet first. And we think about the plumb line from our earlobes into the tips of our shoulders. So we always tend to lean forward a little bit. So back up all your weight into your heels. And bring your hands to the sides of your hips. Spread your fingers, middle fingers looking down, thumbs looking forward, pinkies looking slightly backwards. And now our left leg is going to be our standing leg again. So you spread your toes there a little bit more and you engage your Pada Bandha, lifting the arch of your foot, lifting up through your kneecap until you reach Mula Bandha. Pelvic floor upwards and inwards, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Your whole body is already one straight line. And you're not going to change much. You only bring your right foot back. And as you bring your right heel back, you lean forward. You don't want to come into a warrior 3 somehow like this, bending forward and having an angle at your hips. But you bring your heel back in the same way, like a pair of scales, as your upper body goes down. Lifting up through your left knee cup pad, finding your balance here. You can fold your hands then in front of your heart center, or you can extend your arms to the sides of your ears here. Playing with it for a moment. Pointing your toes, flexing your toes, so you can play with the position of your heels here. Either pushing back through the heel or through the tips of your toes. Another 2 breaths here. Good. And then on the next exhale, bring your right foot down, come back up to standing again with control, no flopping. Shake your hips out. And then ground again through both feet. Make your right foot your standing leg. I'm going to come this way now. Bringing your hands to the sides of your hips. Middle fingers pointing down, pulling your shoulders down so your whole body becomes one line. And then letting your left hip come up and your left heel come up. Keep your hips even so you don't want to open out to the side, but your hip bones are at the same level away from the floor. Once you've found your balance here, folding your hands in front of your heart and reach your arms out, maybe to the sides of your head. Playing with a long line from the top of your head to your heel or to your toes, whatever feels easier, whatever feels more natural. Maybe diving a little bit deeper. Oops, and I'm falling out of it. It's when you're talking and not focusing on your gaze, on your bandhas at the same time. Stay for another breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then let your foot slide back in, come back up. Can you feel your calves? I can feel mine. Good. Check them out again. And then our last standing pose is going to be an awkward pose. It's kind of a squat, but on your toes from Bikram yoga. So bring your arms out in front of you. Going to come sideways again. Okay. And come onto the tips of your toes. Bringing your knees forward, tilting your pelvis back, balancing on the tips of your toes. You can let your knees wobble, lifting through your chest, bending a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Do you think we can come all the way down here? Good, like this. Come on, let's try. Coming to sit on your heels and then sitting on the floor. Good. Our next asana is going to be an Navasana boat pose, and there's always lots and lots of variations here. Find the one that is best for you so you can hold on to your thighs and only lift up through your chest, keeping your feet on the mat, which is the easiest position because we're not going to work a lot with actual strength, but more with balance. And we want to balance on our sitting bones, which is much harder than it sounds, because what usually happens when we come into a Navasana is that we fall back and we balance on our sacrum, that we're somewhere here and we're trying to lift up and our shoulders roll inwards. And that's not really a good position because then applying a lot of pressure, internal pressure on your abs, which you don't want to happen. So the first step of coming into Navasana is again bandhas, as always. So your feet are on the mat. Try to pull the base of your big toes towards your heels. Engaging your bandhas. Imagine pulling your heels towards your sitting bones. That engages your mula bandha, your pelvic floor. Then sit up tall, thinking about lifting your belly button all the way up to your rib cage. Shoulders moving back and down, Jaladhara bandha, ponytail backwards and upwards. And then hold onto your thighs for a moment. And see if you can lift your toes off the mat, balancing on your sitting bones. If you feel that you're safe on your sitting bones without tilting and falling backwards, but that your chest can stay lifted, bring your arms out to the sides. Reaching your fingertips forward, pulling your shoulders back, sternum is lifted. See if your belly button is still up, your Mula Bandha and your Uddiyana Bandha are still on. And you can extend your legs if that is fine. So here we've already done almost 5 breaths, right? So let's do another 3. So we've got our 8, pointing your toes. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. And then on the next exhale, gently come back down. Shall we do another round of that? Yes. She says yes. Inhale again, sit up tall. Now we go in directly. Engage all your bandhas. Pulling your heels in, digging your sitting bones into the mat. Bring your arms out to the side. And then find your variation again. Another 5 breaths here. Lifting through your chest, pulling your shoulders back. Try not to sag in and rest here, but lifting up, belly button inwards and upwards. Deep breath here. And another deep inhale and exhale, lifting your chest for the last breath. And then on the exhale, cross your legs over. Bring your hands in front of you on the mat again. Outside edges of your feet dig into the mat. And you lift your hips up and come back into a nice downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out. Inhale and exhale deeply. And then slowly walk your feet forward. Come into pike position. Maybe play with your abs again. You can see if you can lean forward, come onto the tips of your toes here. Working a little bit with a preparation for handstand. And just feel if you've got your balance. Dig your fingertips in the mat. Maybe lift one set of toes up here. And the other one. And then gently bend your knees. Come back to sitting. Good. Shall we try to come into handstand next time? Yes. Bring your hands, well, that's the ultimate balance, right? Bring your hands back onto the mat. And again, it's a really nice try. Try to come up without using your hands, if you can. So you lift your knees up, you lift up here, you lift up, lengthen your legs, and you step back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out for another moment. And then walk your toes in. Coming into pike again. Walking your hands a little bit closer this time, leaning your shoulders over your wrists. And you can lift your legs. You can all the way jump up, doing a couple of kicks here. Good. Just give it a try. Perfect. Nice. Good. And gently come back down. From here, bring your knees onto the mat. Come into child's pose, lengthening through your arms. And then come back onto all fours and come to lie on the mat. Good. So we're going to start from the Sphinx pose, we're going to start with coming into a cobra and then into a Sphinx, and if you want to, we can come into a bow pose. So for cobra, come a little bit further down, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, thumbs looking at each other, middle fingers looking forward, and hug your elbows into your ribs as fast or as strongly as you can, pulling your shoulders back. Almost think about letting your shoulder blades meet behind your back. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Lift you so that your knees are softly lifting off the mat. And your pubic bone is your measure. You never come so higher up than your pubic bone, so that your pubic bone is lifting off the mat. So press your hands into the mat and your elbows stay bent. Good. Pubic bone is pressed into the mat. Your kneecaps can be off the mat. It's a really active cobra. Pulling your shoulders down. And if you can elongate your elbows all the way. Try not to let them lock in so your your shoulders come up all the way to your ears, but rather pull your shoulders down and keep your elbows bent. So again, flexibility is when you can lock them in and you're kind of resting in your asana. It's mobility if you can really lift up and lengthen through the top of your head. Good. Your kneecaps stay off the mat, top of the feet is pressed into the mat, and on the next exhale, gently come back down. Good. Reach your hands out behind you, swiftly moving into Shalabhasana, into locust pose. Let your palms look down or maybe at each other. And now we're going to keep our pubic bone pressed into the mat. And we will try balancing on the space between our hip bones, those knobbly bits here, lifting our chest off the mat, and our pubic bone. So lift your toes off the mat, pubic bone stays on the mat, lifting your chest up. Maybe you want to balance on the base of your ribs and your hips and your pubic bone, but if you can, lift the ribs off the mat, hugging your belly button upwards, using your bandhas, lifting up through the top of your head. Again, feel that your neck is not creasing up. And another 2 breaths here, you can do it. Pointing your toes, pulling the insides of your thighs together, glutes are engaged, chest is lifting. And on the exhale, come into crocodile pose. Breathe deeply, good. If that was easy, you can come into a bow pose. So on the next after the next deep inhale, let your toes look up, point your toes, and then lift your kneecaps off the mat again, and take your right hand, your left hand to hold onto your shins. Rather use your shins than your feet, and lifting up your chest a little bit more. Lifting up, maybe your pubic bone is off the mat and you're balancing only on your hip bones. Pulling the insides of your thighs together, lifting up through the top of your head. Breathe deeply. And then on the next exhale, gently come back down. Looking the other way, if you are coming into crocodile pose, let your toes look at each other, your heels look away from each other, so your lower back can relax a little bit. And then gently turn around. Come to lie on your back. And gently hug your knees into your chest to neutralize our back bends. Hugging your knees in. Feel how high you can lift your sitting bones and your sacrum off the mat. We tried that in our warming up and we were hugging our knees into our chest in the beginning. So here we are again, this time more out of flexibility as you hug them in, then mobility. Stay for a breath. On the next inhale, let your toes point up, bring your elbows onto the side next to your ribs, let your fingertips look up, palms looking towards your ears, and then gently lift your hips up and come your hips, your middle back into your hands, and to work with balance here as well. You can walk your hands always higher up towards your shoulders, coming into one line. So rather than having your hips rest in your hands, lifting up, working with balance here, stacking yourself in one straight line with your ankles above your knees, above your hips, above your shoulders. Cool. If you've got someone to help you, they can lift you up from your heels. Walk your elbows closer together. Good. Can you still see your shins? A little bit. When you can't see your shins anymore, then you are completely straight in your shoulder stand. Bring them a little bit further back. There they should be. Good. stay for another breath or two. And then gently come back down, rolling into a fish pose, bringing your palms together behind your lower back, rolling with your hips onto your hands, bringing your feet down, coming up onto your elbows, bringing the top of your head down, arching your back here as a counter pose for 3 breaths. And on the exhale, let go again. Coming back onto your mat. Letting yourself relax here. Let your palms look up or down, whatever feels right. Let your toes drop out to the side. Let yourself sink into the mat. Deep breathing here. Let your body and your mind relax. Imagine that with every exhale, your body is sinking into the mat, becoming heavier and more relaxed. And with every exhale, as your body gains weight, your mind is getting lighter. Your thoughts are becoming weightless. And you just let yourself fly with them. Just have a look what's going on in your mind right now. What thoughts are coming up, what memories, what ideas. Again, becoming aware of what your mind is occupied with. And then consciously let go of all thoughts that are not happy thoughts, of all thoughts that make you feel heavy, weighted down, of all thoughts that block you. And stay with the happy thoughts for a moment. Things that you're looking forward to. Things that you enjoyed in the past. And then also let go of all things that don't concern you, but only the things that are directly linked to you, that bring you joy and happiness. Maybe there is something you haven't thought about for a long time, a beautiful, happy memory. Or maybe there is something you would like to do, a project you have that you didn't have time to focus on. So take the next couple of minutes here in Shavasana to focus, to indulge in those memories, in those plans. Letting your body rest and bringing joy into your mind, into your thoughts. Let it be your own happiness. Don't focus on other people, but take every Shavasana as time just for yourself. To restore your positive energy, your joy of life, your happiness. few minutes here to let yourself be surrounded by your happy thoughts, by your ideas, your memories. And then when you feel ready, slowly think about moving again, starting with a smile on your face, and then let that smile extend all over your body. And when it reaches the tips of your toes, when it reaches your fingertips, start moving them as well. And let that smile really sink into your body, let your happiness manifest, materialize in your body. And then start wriggling your toes, your fingers, making fists and open them again, crunching up your toes and lengthening them again. And then reach your arms up above your head, lengthening your way all the way up. Or you can stay in Shavasana, whatever feels right, what feels good. Lengthening your legs, giving yourself a good stretch here. And then in your own time, whenever you feel ready, you can come back up to sitting and take a moment to come back to your dedication from the beginning of the practice and feel into all the energy. You can stay there. Feel into all the energy we have created through our class today. We started with a body scan, focusing on our breathing, manifesting into our dedication. And then we did our pranayama, the alternate nostril breathing. We started rotating all of our joints, waking them up, worked our way through 6 rounds of sun salutations, and then worked on standing asanas, balancing, standing up, sitting down, on our back, on our front. So let all this energy accumulate in your heart center. When you're lying down, you can just bring your hands onto your heart center, folding them on top of each other. If you're sitting up, you can fold your hands in front of your heart center. And then send this energy with a big smile to your dedication. Send it up to the universe. And take a moment to focus on the effect of your energy. If you're sitting up already, then start rubbing your palms together. You can just keep your hands on your heart center. It's all good. And then place all your positive energy in your palms, placing them on your eyes for a moment, taking the time to thank your body and your mind. Let your palms slide down over your cheeks, over your throat, over your chest, your tummy, the insides of your thighs, all the way down to your heels. And then rub your palms together again. Again, placing all your positive energy into your palms, place them on your ears. And bless yourself with this energy. Give it to yourself, spread it over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, down your spine, over your hips, your thighs, your knees, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you're well moved, ready for the day, the evening, maybe ready to go to bed, and see you soon.